Hello, welcome back to Outlandish Claims, everyone. I know it's been weeks. I know. How could you possibly have gone on so long without us? What would you do? It's like detoxing. Well, we're back, and we're going to give you what you've been jonesing for. So first of all, we're here, the three of us. We're going to talk NHL playoffs only. When Mike gets here, we're going to talk NBA playoffs only. And, well, maybe not only, because there's some stuff that Gio wanted to talk about too. But we're going to start with the lovely NHL Stanley Cup Finals. That's lovely for me. It's semi-lovely for Gio, and not at all even remotely close to even adorable for Demetrius. Demetrius, tell the lovely people why it's not even close to lovely for you. It's because the Islanders lost. That's why. I took care of it for you, Demetrius. It's okay. The Islanders lost in 7 to the Lightning. Thank you very much. I'm not wearing Lightning right now. I've been wearing Lightning all week because I was in Tampa at Game 5 and 7 because, yay, go Lightning. Fun stuff. Great time. Gio, we're not going to go with the salty butthurt Islanders fan right now because he's too mad to talk about why the Islanders are not as good as Tampa. You, instead, Gio, will tell us why Tampa won, or rather, how the hell the Islanders managed to cough up Game 7 and only allow a shorthanded goal and were unable to score anything on a power play and on 2.5 minutes with an extra skater.
Well, for starters, you're not going to win a game when you only have the best goalie in hockey saving 18 shots. That's for starters. But overall, as great as the Islanders have been this postseason, the reason why they lost to Tampa, and I'm going to keep on saying it until they make a move for another player, is that they don't have star power. They have 4 deep lines, which is great. They can, destroy teams on the forecheck, but Tampa's still in the same conference. They can play the same game, but more aggressive, and they have more star power, and it showed. And even so, Gord was the only guy who scored a goal for Tampa in Game 7, and that's all they needed. So when you're facing a team like that, you really can throw as many lines as you want out there, but you need not like a John Tavares type, but somebody like a Vladimir Tarasenko, hint, hint, that maybe could help score a couple of goals and make it competitive. Otherwise, they played phenomenal. You got to give them credit, give Trotz, Lou, all those guys props because – let's be real. Tampa was the only person that could really beat themselves.
That's very true. I agree 100%. We'll let Demetrius get in now because he's got the bat, and I'm afraid he might actually come to the Bronx for once and beat me to death with it if I don't let him talk. Demetrius, what say you, butthurt Islanders fan?
Well, I'm just glad that we didn't lose at Fort Never Lose, which should, we can't really say should be renamed since they're tearing it down now, which hurts. So, we didn't lose our last game at Nassau because that would have hurt even more. My problem is, what the heck happened in Game 5? What happened in Game 5? Why did we start Mike Sorokin? Why did Mike Sorokin give up 3 goals in the first period?
Ilya Sorokin, and he didn't start. They started Varlamov. He got injured.
They started Varley, and he gave up 3 goals. That's what happened.
It helps if you're an Islanders fan that you know what you're talking about, Demetrius.
I was at work that night. I had to excuse myself during my shift several times so I don't break anything at work. It was that bad. I'm looking through it. They scored 3. Okay, that's fine. We can put up 4. They put up 6. How have they put up 6 in 2 periods? Semyon, for the love of all that is holy, for the love of everything in Southern Long Island, what happened? How do we give up 8 goals? How do we concede 8?
If it makes you feel better, when you have a power play with Braden Point and Stamkos and Kucherov, there's not many teams that can really stop that. So I guess you might to 7.
Yeah, okay. That's silver lining that I can manage. We took the best team in that division to 7. We took the best team in that division and the conference on West. We took the defending champs to 7. So I'm only a little upset.
Let me explain to you how upset you should be. Gino and I were discussing, which led me to go looking at things. It led me to go looking things up because I wanted to know just how good Tampa's team should be. You and I were discussing John Cooper and his place in best all-time, best recent best salary cap coaches, and we agreed basically he at least needs to win another cup before being considered one of the top 5 of the salary cap era. Long way to go all-time. There's no question whatsoever, because those 60s, 70s Canadians teams, that's like 7 coaches right there that are already top 10. But it led me to wondering, well, just how good are the players he's coaching? Because a strong argument is, look at the players he's got. They're insane. Yeah. Well, let's take a gander, shall we? Steven Stamkos, drafted first round, first overall. Nikita Kucherov, drafted 58th overall. Andre Palat, drafted 208th overall. Yanni Gourde, undrafted. Then you get to Mr. Andrei Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Who was drafted, to be fair, first round, but 19th overall. Why is he better than Matt Murray was? He was in his 3rd year, roughly, when they made him a full-time starter. Matt Murray was in his 3rd year, roughly, when they made him a full-time starter. Well, here's why. They eased him into it. Why didn't he bust like Matt Murray? Because he started 24 games in his 2nd season and then went the entire conference semifinals, playing all 7 games against Pittsburgh, who won the Stanley Cup. When you're a backup goalie and you do that, you prove yourself, not just because you do that in one series, but because you have played a solid chunk of games during the season. Matt Murray did not do that. Matt Murray did not play a full season. In fact, he played a full season because Fleury was injured, and then they pulled him for Fleury because Murray got injured. This is why John Cooper, bless his heart and soul, is a better coach than Mike Sullivan. Because the argument now that I can see arising is, which is the team of the decade or the team of the last 10 years? The Penguins, who won back-to-backs, or the Lightning, who have a President's Trophy but crapped out in the first round, and then won one and may win another, not to mention the finals they went to in 2015 and lost to the Blackhawks, and the Eastern Conference semifinals and the Eastern Conference finals against the Penguins. This is going to be a debate. And I think, personally, Cooper, with this win, should be considered, if he wins this cup, should be considered one of the top 5 of the salary cap era. Just my personal perspective. We all remember the triplets line from 2015, Kucherov, Palat, and Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson, also undrafted. He's having a rebound season this postseason. Alex Killorn, first Harvard player to score a goal in the Stanley Cup Finals. First Harvard alum to do that.
What about Victor Hedman? When was he drafted? I'm just curious.
That's fine, absolutely. So first of all, Alex Killorn, for the record, 77th overall. Victor Hedman, Sir Victor, drafted, oh, Jesus, 2nd overall. Wow.
And Sergachev?
Sergachev wasn't drafted by the Lightning. They traded for him. So I'm going to go with Jonathan Drouin. And Mr. Drouin, I believe, was a first rounder as well. He was 3rd overall.
Well, heck, now we officially have the Harvard sports trio, ladies and gentlemen.
Sergachev was drafted 9th overall in 2016 compared to 3rd overall in 2013.
Wow.
So it was basically first rounder for first rounder.
Wow.
But you see, the point I make here is, I said Braden Point was in the 2nd round, 58th overall. But the point I make here is not that not the entire team is nothing but non-first rounders. But Nikita Kucherov and Braden Point and Andre Palat, 3 of the biggest contributors this entire postseason, maybe behind only Vasilevsky and Stamkos. To be fair, Stamkos being the captain and being there, huge boost, as we saw against the Stars in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. His 1 goal propelled them to their win. I don't care what anybody says. And Vasilevsky's the goalie who keeps shutting people out and get in series-clinching games. So you're not going to get an argument from me again that Vasilevsky is not maybe the key player of this series. But when you have Point and Kucherov and Johnson and Palat and Gourde doing what they're doing, and they're all 2nd round or much, much later, or not even at all, props must be given to Mr. Cooper for making this team what it is.
You know what that reminds me a lot of?
What?
Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs.
I can understand that.
You know,
we're going to jump, though, because we got to. We got basketball coming up later, so you can talk basketball a little bit later. But we're going to jump to the Montreal Canadiens, mothers. Yeah. Let's go. Carey Price getting his chance at the Cup. I think we all agree, even me as a huge Lightning fan, this is the most amazing thing possible to see Carey Price go for his Cup finally. Be honest. Are we all rooting for Montreal somehow?
Somehow.
No.
Really? You're not rooting for Montreal? Because McDonough?
Well, yes, partially that, but it's also because the fact that Tampa repeating and destroying the competition. I like seeing teams that dominate, and I want to see a dynasty start to form. So if they win this Cup and they can retain most of this team, because keep in mind, they are kind of cheating the salary cap with this current squad, as Dougie Hamilton said a couple series ago.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see, how
the Blackhawks did this too. The Blackhawks did this too.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's technically legal, but I'm just pointing out what other hockey players have said. But
other hockey players can suck it.
Well, you're telling Dougie Hamilton to suck it. So
Dougie Hamilton, you can suck it. You're just salty that you lost to Nikita Kucherov's superior skill. Go out to Seattle where you can finally be relevant again.
Well, damn.
I ain't taking it. The Blackhawks did this too. Blackhawks did this in 2015 against Tampa. If anybody's going to be salty, it ain't going to be Dougie Hamilton, who's never even sniffed a cup.
I mean, it's a combination of that and then the fact that, I really want to see, Vasilevsky becoming an elite goalie and just adding to his trophy collection is also pretty nice. Stamkos winning a cup fully healthy, also something you love to see.
Absolutely. As a Lightning fan, I personally do not care who wins this Stanley Cup. And it's amazing that I don't care because I've been rooting somehow for Montreal even when they were facing Vegas and Fleury. But you know what? We're going to talk real quick about Vegas. You get 45 seconds, Gio. Why did Vegas lose?
DeBoer.
Perfect answer. That's all I was going to say, too. All I was going to say was Pete DeBoer.
Pete DeBoer.
More importantly, Gio, why did they lose?
Well,
because Gerard Gallant is now with the Rangers.
Well, I was going to mention Leonard starting, but that too.
Not even Leonard. Fleury's choke job, you know what? He screwed up handling that puck. But let me tell you something right now. Vegas, how many goals did Vegas score on the power play? Correct. How many goals did Mark Stone, captain of the team, score? Correct. Who was their leading goal scorer the entire series?
Didn't they have a guy with 2 points and led their?
That was it.
Name.
Who was it? Do you know who it was?
Something wrong?
Yes, Nicholas Roy. Nicholas Roy.
Wow, that's right.
I win.
He was their leading scorer the entire series. And people are going to jump on the Fleury bandwagon? No. He screwed up. He cost you one game. Y'all couldn't find a way to score a goal. You suck.
I got two more words for Vegas.
2 outlandish claims.
Bring it.
Okay, so they both involve Vegas. This offseason, they're going to go all in for Jack Eichel, and they're going to trade Fleury back to Pittsburgh.
Oh, no.
I'm not even shocked by it. I think they'll be trading Fleury back to Pittsburgh, too, because Pittsburgh has the curse of the flower. They are not doing jack until something happens, and they've, as I've said before, they've overcorrected. Matt Murray was too early, so what did they do? They shipped him off, and they moved Tristan Jarry up way too early. And look what happened. He had a great regular season, crapped out from exhaustion in the postseason. This is what happens when you overcorrect. You should have kept Fleury. You were 2 years ahead of schedule by getting rid of him. Shame on you, Pittsburgh. Good for Vegas, and now screw you, Vegas, because you had to fire Gallant. And good for the Rangers, honestly, in some ways. Let's fucking go Rangers in a way. I hope that Vegas goes nowhere near the finals ever, as long as DeBoer is there. Go ahead, Demetrius. What you got?
I got 2 more words for Vegas. Nick Suzuki.
Nick Suzuki. You know what I want to say to Montreal?
Taxi squad legend Nick Suzuki.
He ain't wrong. Beautiful. Beautiful comeuppance. All the talk of Alex Tuck smoking Minnesota. It's nice to have Nick Suzuki come full circle and smoke the hell out of Vegas. But I'm going to close off with this before we jump into the NBA, because now we got Mr. Mike Edwards here. It's your boy. You already know who it is, Mr. Mike Edwards. I'm just going to say this right now. Montreal, you almost f***ed it up. You benched Cole Caulfield and Kotkaniemi in game 1 against Toronto. You benched them one other game, you ain't making it this far. So you count your blessings, and more importantly, your coach who's clearing COVID protocols and your stand-in coach right now who led them past Vegas, basically. Y'all better be thanking God that someone woke up in game 2. Otherwise, every single one of you is getting fired. Y'all are lucky someone woke up, smelled the coffee, and realized, oh, maybe we should put in the youngsters because Carey Price can't score goals for us. Now, we turn to one last hockey thing. Who's winning and how many games? Tampa in 7.
6.
Bolts in 6 from Gio. Demetrius?
Lightning in 5.
Lightning in 5. Mike, you want to throw in a prediction?
Yes. I'm going to go with Montreal in 7.
Ooh, Montreal in 7. I love the outlandish claim. I love it. I love it. That'll do it for our show today. And hockey, we'll be back tomorrow with some NBA talk because we got Mike Edwards here now. We're ready to jump right into NBA and have some fun with that. Most importantly, though, I shut up. We'll see you then.